हेलो बच्चों। टुडे we are going to discuss class 11th new chapter 3 motion in a straight line. Here the topics are mentioned which we are going to discuss one by one. The total number of topic may be 16. So here we are going to explain one by one topics clearly. तो सबसे पहले बात करते हैं मैकेनिक्स की. So in class 11th, actually we will study most part of the lesson, most part of the topic that will be related to the mechanics. Now we have to understand what the mechanics. So mechanics is especially the branch of physics that deals the nature of the motion and the nature of the rest, and we will discuss most of the problem related to rest and motion. So basically rest and motion में टाइप्स ऑफ मोशंस, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ मोशंस एंड रेस्ट की बात करेंगे. तो दैट विल बी द मैकेनिक्स. नो मैकेनिक्स हैज आल्सो सब ब्रांचेस: काइनेमैटिक्स, डायनामिक्स एंड रेस्ट. नाउ व्हाट इज काइनेमैटिक्स? Kinematics is a branch of mechanics that deals the nature of motion of the object without considering the cause. Now here we will discuss the nature of the motion of the object, but we shall ignore the reason behind it. That mean we would not discuss the cause behind the motion of the object. Necessarily we don't have to discuss here the cause of the motion, and simply we will discuss the motion of the object. Now dynamics is just opposite to kinematics. Dynamics, anything that is in motion, and we are going to study the nature of the motion of the object, but here we have to take the cause of motion. Now what is the meaning of the cause? The meaning of the cause is here that whether the object is moving uniformly or non-uniformly. So dynamics is the branch of mechanics that deals the nature of the motion of the object with considering the cause of the motion, and we take generally the nature in terms of uniform and non-uniform motion. So these are the sub branches. Here another branch is static also. So what is the statics? Static means rest. When we are discussing about the object that is positioned in rest, then actually we are reading the another branch of mechanics, that is statics. So here are the three branches of mechanics: kinematics, dynamics and statics. Kinematics is the branch of mechanics in which we study about the motion of the object without considering the cause. Dynamics is the branch of mechanics in which we study the motion of the object with considering the cause, that is object whether it is moving uniform or non-uniform. And rest is another branch of the mechanics in which we study the case of the rest of the object. So here the three branches are kinematics, dynamics and rest. Now we are going to discuss the motion. What is motion? So in motion we define anything which is changing its space, its position with the passage of time. तो टाइम के रिस्पेक्ट में if any object is continuously changing its position from one point to another point, then the object is said to be in motion. For example, in space we can say the number of objects like birds, flying kite, airplane. So these are the objects which continuously, if we look about it, we will find that continuously they changes their position with respect to time. Now suppose we are going to describe the nature and the position changing of the object, then we choose a reference point in the coordinate system that is called reference frame. So reference frame is a kind of mathematical idea by coordinating the coordinate geometry to locate the position of the object in the coordinate axis x, y, z. Now suppose that we wish to find out the changing in the position of the object in the frame of reference x, y, z from some point at origin, say O, and the position of the object is changing from position P to Q. Object is changing its position from P to Q. Now we can easily find out what is the actual location of the particle if we are using the coordinate system that is called reference frame or frame of reference. So we specify the position coordinates from O to Q. Here we can say the position of the particle P is from origin is let x1, and when it moves from position P to Q, again its position may be represented by y2. Similarly, we can find out in respect to z direction z1 and z2, and again then y direction y1 and y2. So we can specify the coordinates, position coordinates of the particle at position P and Q, x1 y1 z1 and x2 y2 z2. So it is a kind of mathematical idea by using reference frame to locate the position of the particle where it is changing from one position to another position in the case of three-dimensional motion, as well as we can also find out the motion of the object in two dimension. So here we have to also notice the motion may be three kind, either one dimension or two dimension or three dimension. So the coordinates that are necessary to describe the motion of the object, in case of one dimension, only single coordinate is sufficient to specify the position of the object. So any object that is moving in a straight line may consider as a one dimensional motion, and simply a simple coordinate, say x or y or z, individually we can find out the position and change of the position of the object. When the object is moving in two dimension, we need to specify, choose two coordinate of the system to specify the motion of the object. Such kind of motion may consider motion in a plane. And if the object is moving three dimensionally as shown here, so we need three coordinate system in the reference frame to specify the position of the object. So the nature of the motion of the object may be one dimensional, two dimensional and three dimensional. So in case now we are studying motion in a straight line, here we will only discuss the position coordinate in only single direction, either x or y or z. In the next chapter we will discuss the changing in the position of the object in two dimension, and there we will use two coordinate of the system, yz or xy or xz. So here we have discussed that the nature of the motion of the object may be one dimension, two dimension and three dimension also. So the motion will be called one dimensional motion, two dimensional motion and three dimensional motion. Another point that should be discussed and very necessary for us, that is the point object. To specify the position of the object, we choose a different number of categories of the object and different number of their sizes. So in case of the point object, we define point object as when the distance traveled by the object is less compared to its size. इसको और अच्छे से समझा सकते हैं कि suppose that we are traveling in a bus and we have to describe the nature of the motion of the bus. So the distance traveled by the bus is actually larger than its size. So it is very convenient to say to measure in the measurement of the motion of the bus to changing in the position of the object, we always choose the bus as a point object. So any object that has comparable size and the distance traveled by the object is very greater than its own size, then such a object will always consider as a point object. उस object को हम क्या कहेंगे? Point object. Now, next topic is the rest and motion. Now, what is rest? When the object does not change its position with respect to time. ऑब्जेक्ट अपनी पोजीशन को टाइम के रिस्पेक्ट में क्या कर रहा है, चेंज नहीं कर रहा है, then such a motion, then such a position of the object will always considered as a rest. So when we look the trees, the houses and other thing that is not changing its position will call into rest. And motion of the object is just opposite to the rest. In motion, ऑब्जेक्ट चेंजेस इट्स पोजीशन विद द पासेज ऑफ टाइम. टाइम के पास होते होते वो क्या करता है, ऑब्जेक्ट अपनी पोजीशन को चेंज करता जाता है. नाउ नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज द पाथ लेंथ और डिस्टेंस, एंड आफ्टर इट वी विल डिस्कस डिस्प्लेसमेंट. So the path length or distance, when the object cover some length in any direction, and we have to ask how much distance is traveled or how much length it covered, so we say simply generally the total length that is covered by the object. And the total length covered by the object, whatever may be direction of the object, it is not necessary to mention in the case of distance, so it will consider as the distance. So what is the actual length covering by the object, total length will be considered as the distance. Here it should be remembered that distance is a physical quantity which has only magnitude, not direction, so it is also considered as a scalar quantity, as well as the measurement of distance in MK system is always taken meter. So path length or distance is the total length covered by the object in any direction is called path length. It is a scalar quantity, its unit is meter, and distance will never be considered as negative. डिस्टेंस कभी भी नेगेटिव नहीं हो सकती है. नाउ द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज डिस्प्लेसमेंट. नो, displacement and distance are just exactly equal, but the difference is just only the direction. Displacement always show the direction and where the object is moving. So what is the displacement? We can say distance in a given direction. Distance in a given direction is called displacement. Or in another word, we can say the shortest distance. Shortest distance, that means we draw a straight line distance from the initial position to the final position of the object, then it is also considered as a displacement. Displacement is a vector quantity. Why? Because like distance, it has magnitude, but distance has no direction, and we specify the position of the object in the space with direction. That's why we can say displacement has a direction and it is a vector quantity. So it is a vector quantity. Now in the next topic we have to give difference between distance and displacement. So just we have defined that distance is the total length of the path covered in any direction, but the displacement is the total length or the shortest distance given in the direction. Both have the unit same, that is distance has the unit meter and displacement has also unit meter. And the most important difference that distance can never be considered as negative, but displacement may be zero, positive and negative. Distance may supposed to equal और ग्रेटर टू द डिस्प्लेसमेंट. तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट डिस्टेंस हमेशा क्या होता है, डिस्टेंस के बराबर होता है और बड़ा होता है. सो दीज आर द पॉइंट ऑफ डिफरेंस बिटवीन डिस्प्लेसमेंट एंड डिस्टेंस. नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू द आवर नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, स्पीड. नाउ व्हाट इज स्पीड? व्हेन वी हैव द आइडिया हाउ मच डिस्टेंस इज ट्रेवल्ड बाय द ऑब्जेक्ट इन अ गिवन इंटरवल ऑफ टाइम, then we are discussing about the speed. So what is the speed? Speed is defined as the total distance or the distance traveled by the object in given interval of time. So distance upon time is called speed. Now just like distance is a scalar quantity, so speed is also a scalar quantity. distance may not supposed to be 0 and speed will not be given 0. The magnitude of speed is just equal to the velocity. अभी हम लोग velocity का discussion भी करेंगे. Then we will discuss the difference of speed and velocity. And the measurement of the speed, when we have to measure how much with how much speed the object is travel, then we use a simple device named speedometer. Speedometer को हम use करके we will we will determine with how much speed the object is moving. The unit of speed, since it is the ratio of distance upon time, so unit of speed will be meter per second. So क्या क्या बताया हमने? Speed is defined as distance traveled in the given interval of time. It is a scalar quantity. Its unit is meter per second. Speed can never be 0, and the determination of the speed of the object is by speedometer. We determine the speed of the object with the help of speedometer. Basically सभी गाड़ियों में लगा रहता है, vehicles में लगा रहता है कि हम with how much speed we are traveling. Now next topic is uniform motion, uniform speed and uniform displacement. Sorry. Uniform motion and uniform speed. Now the term uniform explain that remains same in any time of interval. So any such kind of motion in which object cover equal distance or within equal interval of time, that is called uniform motion or uniform speed. तो ऑब्जेक्ट क्या करता है, इक्वल डिस्टेंस इक्वल टाइम इंटरवल में ट्रैवल कर रहा है, तो सच काइंड ऑफ मोशन इज कंसीडर्ड एज अ यूनिफॉर्म मोशन. Now we are going to next topic, our position time graph. अभी हमने डिस्कस किया कि पोजीशन ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट इज डिटरमाइंड विद द रेफरेंस फ्रेम. सो द ग्राफ दैट इज यूज्ड फॉर डिटरमाइनिंग द position of the object in the given interval of time will called position time graph. So here we will choose a coordinate axis x and y. The x axis will show the time and the y axis will show the position, and the position may represent by x, a time may represent by t. So in the case if we wish to determine how much distance is traveled by the object in a given interval of time, in the case of suppose that object is moving in uniform motion, so we may draw a straight line for the case of uniform motion, and we choose the different time interval, suppose 10 minute, 20 minute, 30 minute and so on, and the corresponding distance 20 meter, 40 meter, 60 meter, 80 meter and so on. So with the help of this graph we can locate the position of the object in the given time interval. Suppose we choose a point, this one. Here we have to find what is the position of the object and how much time it takes to cover the particular distance. Simply we have to join these lines with the given time interval. So simply we can say that the object is at 60 meter distance with the time interval 20 minutes. So it is the basic and the fundamental and interesting idea to determine the position of the object in a given interval of time, and this fundamental idea is called the time graph or the position time graph. Similarly, if we wish to find out the velocity of the object in a given time interval, we also may in the same way draw velocity time graph. In the case of constant velocity, when the object is moving with a constant velocity, the nature of the graph is just parallel to the time axis. Suppose that this is the velocity 20 km per hour. So here we can say that at the different time interval, the velocity of the object remains same. And this case will actually take place only when we are traveling in a straight line path with uniform nature of the velocity. So the constant nature of the velocity is just obtained in the case when we are moving in a straight line with uniform nature. And in case of uniform nature, we can also draw here. It should be remembered that the slope in the position time graph give the velocity of the object, and here the slope in the velocity time graph give the acceleration. So these are the fundamental and the basic idea how to determine the changing in the position of the object using the interpretation of the graphical way. तो ग्राफिकल वे से हम क्या कर सकते हैं, ऑब्जेक्ट की पोजीशन और टाइम को पता कर सकते हैं, एंड द करेस्पॉन्डिंग फिजिकल क्वांटिटी लाइक पोजीशन, टाइम, वेलोसिटी, एक्सेलरेशन, these quantity may also easily determined with the help of the graph. Now in the next topic we are going to discuss accelerated motion and uniform acceleration. So accelerated motion, what is the actual meaning of the accelerated motion? So basically when we are moving on a road, so simply on moving or traveling on a road with a vehicle, generally we have to sometime increase our speed or the velocity in the case of straight line motion, and sometime we have to decrease our speed due to the traffic or due to the road problem. So generally we changes our velocity time to time. So whenever we are changing our velocity, that means we are discussing the accelerated motion. Sometimes we increase our velocity or the speed, and sometimes we decrease our velocity or speed. So what is the accelerated motion and what is the acceleration? It's just simply defined as the rate of change of velocity and given by the relation A is equal to difference of velocity upon time. In a given interval of time, how much velocity is changing, that is called accelerated motion. And uniform acceleration motion, that means the acceleration of the object remain uniform, that is neither it is changing nor it is increasing nor it is decreasing, just simply moving with a constant nature. But practically it is impossible to move with uniformly accelerated motion. It will observe in the case when the object is moving vertical motion, and it is the case of the gravitational acceleration. Any object that is falling freely with the influence of the attraction of the gravity of the earth will always have the uniform acceleration 9.8 meter per second square. Now in the next topic, average speed and average velocity. Now we are going to discuss average speed and average velocity. So what is the average speed? Suppose the particle travel some different distance in a given different time interval, and the traveling distance is represented by x1, x2, x3 and x4, and the corresponding time for traveling the distances x1, x2 are t1, t2, t3 t4. So the average speed will define as the sum of the total distance upon whatever the time interval taken by the individual distance will be taken as the sum of the time. So this is the way to find out the average speed of the object. Just like same, we can calculate the average velocity. So average velocity will be given as the average of the velocity, that is initial velocity plus final velocity upon 2. So this is the way to calculate the average velocity. Now we are going to discuss the formula for uniformly accelerated motion. Now we have the four formula: v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, v square is equal to u square plus 2as, and s is equal to u plus half a to t minus 1. These formula are also we have discussed in the earlier classes of 9th, and we have calculated and evaluated the value of the formula or the proof of the formula by using the fundamental nature and by using the definitions of the physical quantity of acceleration, displacement and velocities by the general method. Here we have to do the identical method in class 11th. We have to use calculus method. So with the help of the calculus method, we can easily find out the proof of the formula. But we will discuss the general formula and the graphical nature of the formula also here. So first we are going to derive these formula with the help of common method. And after we will discuss it by graphical, and then we can prove it with the help of calculus method. So we simply know that acceleration is the change in velocity upon time. By the definition of acceleration, we know that acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. And simply if we product it cross, we get v minus u is equal to at, or v is equal to u plus at. So this is the first equation, and in very easy way by defining the acceleration, we can easily find out the first relation. Now we are going to second relation. In the second relation, we also know that s, displacement s, is equal to the product of average velocity into time. The average velocity is given by v plus u upon 2 into time t. Now we are knowing the velocity v is equal to u plus at. Just we have to place the value of v here. So u plus at and plus this u upon 2 into t. Now what will happen? U plus q will be 2u plus at upon 2 into t. This equation may also written as 2u upon 2 at upon 2 into t. 2 to 2 will be cancelled out, and just introduce the outside t into inside the bracket. We will get nothing but our the second equation of motion, s is equal to ut plus half at square. This is our second equation of motion, and simply in the same way we can find out our third equation of motion with very easy way. Again, we are using first equation of motion to prove third equation. Since we know that v is equal to u plus at, squaring both sides. We get v square is equal to u plus at whole square, and the value of this is u square plus 2u at plus a square t square. Now here we have the term u square and 2u at plus a square t square. Here we are going to take common the term 2a. Where we take the common term 2a from this combinedly equation, we have here ut, and in this term we have only at square by 2. Now what is actual? This is the value of actual. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Now place the value of S. We have 2s. So this is the common way. In 9 classes we have discussed this way, and in the same way we can prove it by graphical nature also. Simply we can find out the third equation of motion. S is equal to, this is the special case in which we have to determine the position of the object traveling in a ts second. So simply we will use the equation S is equal to ut plus half at square. Suppose in ts second it travel distance ut sin plus half at square, and in t minus 1 second it travel distance so here we have two equations. So what is the actual distance traveled in nth second will be the difference of st minus 1. Just simply do the common mathematics here, and after calculation we will get here u plus half a 2t minus 1. This is the common method, and this is the fourth equation of motion. Now we can use the graphical way for proving all these equations, and after it we will discuss how we apply the calculus method to finding out the solution or finding out the proof of these equations. So in graphical method we take यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी टाइम ग्राफ, जैसा कि 9th में हम लोग करते थे. So this portion of the graph is the initial velocity, and this position of the graph is final velocity. कुछ नाम दे देते हैं O, P, Q, R, S, and this is the time interval. Here time t is equal to 0, and here time t is equal to t. So this is the way of representation of the velocity time graph. Here we as earlier I state you that the slope of the graph represent velocity, acceleration in the case of velocity time graph. So first, in the first equation we have to choose the slope pq. Now what is the value of slope? It is nothing but defined as the tangent or tan theta, and it is given by vertical intercept QR upon horizontal intercept PR. Now what is the value of QR? It is the difference of velocity v minus u, and PR is just exactly equal to OS. So we can place in place of QR as v minus u, and in PR we place, what is the value of PR? It is t, 0 to t minus 0, and PQ is the slope and that show acceleration. So acceleration is equal to v minus u upon t. This is the first equation of motion by graphical way. Now, as I explained that in the velocity time graph, the displacement of the graph is given by the area of the graph. If we find out the area of the enclosed region of the graph, we will get the displacement. So, in the second equation of motion, displacement of the graph is given. Since this is the area of the sum of the triangle and rectangle, so we can find out individually the sum of the area of triangle and rectangle. So area of triangle, what is the triangle? PQR plus area of rectangle OPRS. Now what is the formula of area of triangle? It is half into base into height. So half, what is the base? Base is PR or into height. Height is QR plus area of rectangle UPO into OS. Now half, what is the PR? PR is again our acceleration. Sorry, PR is our time interval 0 to t. And what is QR? QR is our velocity, change in velocity, V minus U. Plus what is PO? PO is U and OS is T. So here we have V minus U, and अभी हमने आपको बताया V minus U is equal to 80. So here we have UT plus half AT square, and this is the second equation, as is equal to UT plus half AT square. This is the graphical way. Now what will we do in the case of third equation? V square is equal to U square plus 2as. ये मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ. Just find out the area of trapezium. Trapezium का area निकाल लीजिए. Ultimately you will get the third equation of motion. V square is equal to U square plus 2as. Now we are going the other way to finding out the equation of motion, and that is very important. That is the calculus method. So this is the third way, and it is called calculus method. So if you remember, by common method we have started with our acceleration से शुरू किया था हमने. Now here, before going to the calculus method, we have to understand the term dv by dt or ds by dt. Actually these are the limiting value of v by t, that is delta v by delta t. It is called limiting value of delta t tending to 0, delta v upon delta t. Change in velocity upon change in time, that is called acceleration, and it is also the limiting value of change in displacement in the given interval of time, and sometimes we call it instantaneous velocity or instantaneous acceleration. That means at any instant the velocity of the object, suppose that the particle is moving in non-uniform way, and we have to calculate the velocity of the object in instant in any given interval of time. Just we draw a tangent to this curve Suppose that this is velocity or displacement time graph, and we wish to find out the velocity, and we draw the tangent to this curve and take the intercept differently here. That will show the changing in the position S1 and S2 with the changing in the time interval T1 and T2. So we will take the slope, and in the slope we will given again the vertical intercept to the horizontal. Here the slope is, suppose that this PQ is a slope, so PQ will be change in the position S2 minus S1 upon vertical intercept S2 minus S1 upon change in time T2 minus T1, and this will be delta S upon delta T. And when we take its limiting value, that is time is just tending to 0, so that is the meaning of instant, that is time is just approximately range to 0, then it convert into differential form ds upon dt. In the same way, if we choose velocity time graph, so we will calculate the portion PQ is equal to V2 minus V1 upon T2 minus T1, and it will become delta V upon delta T. And when we choose the limiting value, then we get the instant acceleration. So here dv by dt and ds by dt are the instantaneous velocity and instantaneous acceleration respectively. So by this method we will calculate the equation of motion, and that will call the calculus way to finding out the equations of motion. तो वन बाय वन करके फटाफट इसको देखते हैं, इसके बाद एक टॉपिक और बचेगा इस चैप्टर का, एंड दैट विल बी द रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी, एंड आफ्टर इट वी विल डिस्कस द न्यूमेरिकल्स रिलेटेड टू दिस टॉपिक. तो शुरुआत करते हैं सबसे पहले से. वी नो दैट एक्सीलरेशन इज गिवन बाय dv upon dt. This implies dv is equal to, we may write as adt. Now integrate dv and adt. Now we have to choose some proper limit. The time interval changes from 0 to t, and the velocity change, suppose u to v. So integration of dv will becomes v from limit u to v, and a is constant. Integration of dt from 0 to t will be t. Now we have to place upper limit and lower limit. So when we place, instead of v to v, it will become v minus u is equal to a and t minus 0. एक बार t की जगह t रखेंगे, माइनस करके t की जगह 0 रखेंगे. So this will become our first equation, v minus u is equal to at. This is the calculus there. Now s is equal to ut plus half at square. We are going to derive it. We know that s is equal to dv by dt. So dv is equal to s dt. Sorry. So in the second equation we know that v is equal to ds upon dt. So ds is equal to, we may write as v dt. Place value of v is equal to u plus at here. So ds will become equal to u plus at dt. Now we have to integrate it both sides. So integration of ds from limit 0 to s will be s, and इसको हम ऐसे लिख सकते हैं u dt plus a t dt by applying the limit 0 to t, 0 to t. So t dt integration will be u constant है, बाहर निकाल लीजिए पहले. So t dt will be t square by 2. सॉरी इधर तो t नहीं था, तो it will become only just t, and the integration of t dt will be t square by 2. Now we have to place the limit, and after placing the limit we will have ut plus half at square. This is the second equation. Now we are going to discuss our third equation. तो थर्ड इक्वेशन ध्यान से देखिएगा. Just to prove we have to apply common trick. A is equal to में पता है dv by dt होता है, तो इसमें क्या करते हैं हम ds से न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर में मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं, and we may write it as dv by ds into ds by dt. Now what is value of ds upon dt? It is nothing but the velocity. So here we have what ADS is equal to VDV, and we may calculate it, integrate it. The limit of corresponding s is 0 to s, and the limit of velocity is u to v. So here we have, after integration of ds we have only as, putting the limit as same before we have done, and what is the value of vdv? Integration of vdv will become v square by 2. So we'll place the limit. As will become equal to v square by 2 minus u square by 2 after placing the limit, and here we can write it as 2as is equal to v square minus u square, or we may write it v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So this is our third equation of motion by calculus method. So these are the equations of motion, and we have solved it in very easy way by common method, by graphical method, by calculus method. Now we are going to discuss last topic of this chapter, that is the relative velocity. So what is the relative velocity? Suppose that two objects are traveling in same direction, object A with velocity VA and object B with velocity VB, and they are moving with different speed, अलग-अलग speed से चल रहे हैं. So when we are saying that object B is moving faster, then there is a meaning of saying that B is faster. That is, we are just comparing the velocity or the speed of the object with speed of the object A. So what is the relative velocity? When two different objects are moving in somewhere, and we compare one of the velocity with the another of the object's velocity, so at that time we are discussing about the relative velocity. Suppose that we find out the relative velocity of A with respect to B. तो दोनों एक ही डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं, तो relative velocity of A respect to B will given by VAB, and this will nothing but the difference of the speed of A and B. So here we are calculating the relative velocity of A, and if we are asked to calculate the relative velocity of B with respect to A, we write it as VBA is equal to VB minus VB. This is the case when the objects are moving in same direction. Similarly, just we have to use the sign notification when the objects are moving in opposite direction. So we have to use positive direction for the B and negative direction to A, and we will apply the same concept to finding out the relative velocity. तो उम्मीद करते हैं पूरा चैप्टर हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया है, इसमें एक एक टॉपिक के सारी चीजों की बातें की हैं. दिस वाज द लास्ट टॉपिक, दैट इज रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द टॉपिक्स दैट आर गिवन इन योर बुक आई हैव डिस्कस्ड. So it is important now to read all the topic carefully, including graphical nature, mathematical nature of the speed and other definition very carefully, because while studying the numerical we have to use all the concepts that I have discussed here. So ये सारे टॉपिक पढ़िएगा, and after it we will discuss the numericals. Okay, thank you so much and have a nice day to all of you.